Hi, it's Frank from Mann Lake, and we're here talking about what we're going to do in the central states now in the month of June. We've had our honey flow going for a while. It's starting to tail off. We're getting toward the middle end of June. We're going to be done. What we need to do is pull these honey supers off this month as they fill them up, or right at the end when the flow is over. So what I recommend for people is, it depends how many colonies you have. If you've only got a couple, we've got to get the bees out of these supers. There's a few ways to do it. One is with what we call a bee escape. It's a board that looks like this. We will take our honey super off, put that bee escape on there. I usually do one box at a time, not two. And we'll put that back on, leave that on overnight, come back the next day, most of the bees will be out of there. We can pull this one off and do it again. Now, if you've got a fair amount of colonies, because this takes time, it takes almost a day for each one of these supers we want to pull. If we're in more, have more colonies, or we don't have that kind of time, the other thing we can use is something called a solar fume board. This is just something that the black absorbs the heat. Underneath there's felt, and we're going to spray it with one of our fumes, whether it be honey robber, honey bandit, or Bego, any of those. We're going to spray it up, put it on top like that on a warm sunny day, leave it on there 5-10 minutes. The bees don't like those fumes, it'll drive the bees down. And you can come back, we can take this one box off, the bees will be gone, put it back on again. Now what I will tell you, I've got a queen excluder on here. If I'm going to do this, before I do it, I'm going to remove this queen excluder because that slows those bees down from getting out of there. Put it back on, drive those bees down and get them out of there. And we're going to pull the honey supers. I know there are people out there that let their honey supers on all season. I don't recommend that for several reasons. One, when we hit that dearth in summertime, those bees are going to start eating your honey. We don't want that. We could feed them sugar water to keep them going through the dearth. We want this honey. So let's pull this right at the end of our flow, and that also gives us another opportunity. We've got probably July and August, and if you've got a fall flow, that comes after Labor Day with your goldenrod and your aster. So we've got most of July and August to treat for mites. We're back to our brood nest configuration only. We can use any mite treatment we want. My recommendation is that you go into your hives and you use something like Easy Check, get a good mite count on here. Take it from the bees that are on open brood, open mature brood. That's where the majority of those mites are going to be on the bees. We want to take that, do that sample, do our mite check, and then the beauty of having no honey supers on here is we could use whatever treatment we want. I mean, there are some that we can use like Formic Pro. We could use this with honey supers on or not. That's fine. But there are other ones like Appolife Bar and Apivar. We can only use these when there's no supers on the colony. So now's an optimal time to use whatever we want. And we've got that good 6 weeks at least to clean these bees up before our fall flow comes. We get them nice and clean. They have time to go through a couple of brood cycles. Get them cleaned up, take care of your mites, and when you're done treating, do this mite check again. We want to make sure that our treatment knocked our mite count down, did what we wanted it to do. And being that we're coming into the dearth, once we get into it, we want to feed. We will talk about that in our July talk. But for now, get those honey supers off, get those bees cleaned up, and we'll talk about how we take them through the summer when I see you next. Thank you. If you like these videos, please subscribe, and we'll see you in July.